It's time for Wacky World Studios Sketching with Steven, featuring art director Steven Walker.
Hi there, Wacky World fans. Welcome back to another drawing episode with me. We've got a special treat in store for you today. We're going to be drawing one of our wacky pets here at the studio. Now, one of the reasons why our characters are so appealing is because a lot of times we take inspiration from life. So we do research, we pull up photos, videos, any kind of reference that we can gather to really understand the animals and the people that we're drawing in our artwork. So one of our wacky pets here is actually the star of our next show. I want you guys to meet Gracie. She is a little Yorkie and she is a princess. And of course, as a princess, she loves to play dress up. So we like to dress up our Yorkie character here. You'll see in this photo here, she's got a little princess and a little tutu there. She also likes to dress up, be a little silly like a clown. So she's here ready to party like a little clown on a birthday. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to draw a little Gracie. So just like with all of our other characters that we've drawn so far, our character starts with a circle. Here's an example of the drawing that I did earlier so you can see what we're going to draw today. So this, you can see the circle here, and there's a lot of fur, lots and lots of fur. Okay, so we're going to get really well acquainted with one of our favorite shapes that we've been drawing so far, the shark fin. Now before we start today, as I mentioned, Gracie, she loves to dress up. She likes to be a little dancer, a little party dog with that little clown face. We're gonna need to dance around and loosen up. All right, loosen your body. Get those arms nice and loose. There you go. All right, have some rotation in your shoulder there. Okay, now once you're nice and loose, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start off drawing our little Gracie, we're gonna start with a circle. Again, about the size of a baseball or an orange or a grapefruit. Pick your favorite. We're gonna draw a circle right there in the center of your page. There you go. Keep it nice and light, nice and loose. Remember, this is just the guideline for the rest of our character. Okay, so now that we have our circle shape, the very next step is to draw our guidelines. We're gonna draw our first one. She's looking over to the side. So the first one's gonna curve to the right. Again, keep it nice and light. This is, again, just a guideline for the rest of little Princess Gracie's features. Okay, and then we're gonna go left to right with our horizontal guideline. This one will curve slightly up. She's got her head turned a little bit. Okay, now the very first feature we're gonna place on Gracie is her nose. Okay, so we're gonna start with that muzzle. Okay, she's got that little muzzle. It's just a little bump right here where your guidelines meet. Just draw a little bump right there under the guideline. Now underneath that bump, we're gonna draw her nose, which is almost like a little mushroom shape. So we're gonna draw a little mushroom. Okay, it has a little stem at the bottom. And there we go, there's our mushroom. Okay, and her nose is black. It's nice and wet and black, so go ahead and just shade that in. Okay, now she's a very furry Yorkie, so that fur is gonna be all over. She almost has a mustache because she's so furry. So we're gonna start with that mustache shape and we're gonna start drawing those shark fins. Let's start right here off this bump. Make it curve up towards the guideline. Create your first little shark fin shape. Okay, now the next one is gonna curve. It's gonna be a much bigger shark fin. It's gonna curve down. Okay, and we got one more shark fin. All right, one more. Lots of shark fins to create that furry face there. All right, then I'm going to do a smaller one right here at the bottom of her mustache there. Okay, and then we're going to take the bottom of this shape. We're going to curve it back up. Create one more shark fin right here. And then we'll end it right under her nose. Okay, so there's the left side of that furry muzzle. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this one will start again on your muzzle. This time it'll curve outside your circle. There's your first shark fin or dolphin fin. Okay, and then we got one more off of that one. This one's a little bigger. Okay, and then one more bigger shark fin. And then just like this side, we're going to create that last shark fin and bring it all the way up and end it right under her nose. There you go. She's a very furry puppy. Okay, so let's put it in her mouth next. Her mouth is going to be a much simpler shape. It's going to be a letter U. It'll curve from the bottom of one side of that muzzle over to the bottom of the other side. Large stretched U shape. And then her lower lip, which is again just another U shape. Follows the same shape as the one you just drew. Now her lip is a little darker, so if you want to shade that part in, you can as well. Okay, now inside her mouth, we're going to draw some teeth. Now her teeth, she's got two pointy ones on the bottom, so we're going to draw a little triangle down here. And then you draw one more on the other side. And then just a curved line in between those two triangles to create her teeth. And last but not least, to finish off her mouth, let's put in her tongue. Her tongue is going to be like a letter M shape. It'll curve up and then back down. And then another little bump off the one you just drew, and that creates her tongue. Now if you want to shade in the back of her mouth too, you can do that as well. Okay, so there's her mouth. Now we're going to do her chin next, and her chin is almost another U shape. It starts here at the corner of your mouth. It's going to curve down, but remember she's a furry puppy, so she's going to have a little stray tufts of fur, more shark fins down here as you create that U shape to create her chin. Okay, maybe a couple more little fur just kind of coming off, maybe different directions. Again, she's got fur going all different directions. Then just bring that chin up to meet that furry mustache shape there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in her eyes. Okay, now her eyes are going to sit right on top of our guideline. We're going to start the first one above the fur on the right side here. Okay, and it's a nice oval shape, right on the edge of your circle. Okay, we'll do the other eye. It's a little bigger. Since it's closer to us, we have to draw it in perspective. So you do a much bigger eye shape on this side. Again, just sits right on top of that guideline. Okay, now she's a happy dog, so we're going to make her smile with the cheeks pushing up into her eyes. So just draw a little bump right below that eye there. And there's her cheek. Now Princess Gracie has some really bushy eyebrows. She's got all that fur, so we're going to draw some really bushy eyebrows next. The bushy eyebrows are actually going to start way up here on top of your circle. And we're going to draw, you guessed it, more shark fins. So let's get those shark fins going right up here at the top of your circle. It's almost a U shape with a couple shark fins along the way. So we'll start with that one. Again, make them go all different directions. And we'll just stop right there. We'll end with a little point right there. Okay. Now we're going to do another bottom part of the eyebrow here with another U shape. This one gets a little closer to your eye. Again, just more shark fins all the way along the way. There you go. And there's her eyebrow. Now let's do the same thing on this side. Another U shape. Give her some little tufts of fur as you're drawing the U. This one will end right here next to her eye. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna draw are her ears. Okay, now her ears are nice and bushy. She's got really big ears, and they have lots of fur in those too. Okay, so we'll start with the left ear, since that's the bigger of the two, since it's closer to us. That ear is going to start right here on top of your eyebrow. You'll start with a U shape. It kind of curves up and then back down. Okay, now we're going to do another little bump, so curve that line back out. Create that next bump in that fur. And then we're going to end that with a little shark fin right here at the end. Okay, so we have the top part of the ear now. So we're going to draw the cheek next so that we know where to connect it to. So if you look at her cheek here, it starts right next to her eyebrow, and it curves out of your circle and down to that muzzle, that bushy part of the muzzle. So we're going to draw that cheek almost like a letter C. It'll start right here on your circle. It'll curve out, give it a little tuft of fur, and then curve down to that muzzle there. Okay, so now that we have the cheek drawn, we can go ahead and finish off the ear shape. Her ear is actually going to start right at the end of that shark fin that you finished drawing. You're going to draw another shark fin, and then several more all the way down to the cheek. Her ear is going to be behind her head, so that ends right behind the cheek. Now if you want, you can draw a few more tufts of fur in there too. Again, lots of fur on these puppies. Just a couple more curved lines, just kind of going back up. You can even draw a couple shark fins in there if you want. There you go. Okay, and that's her first ear. So the second ear is going to be about the same, just flipped and a little smaller. You'll start right here above the eyebrow with a nice little bump, curve up and then down, and then curve out and then back. Kind of reminds me of some rolling hills. Okay, and then take the end of that and curve it out and create that little shark fin shape. Okay, and then just do a couple more shark fins. One here, and then just bring it back to where it meets that muzzle. Okay, you can even draw, if you like, a little bit more fur where her cheek is on this side of her face. Just a couple shark fins there. And that'll finish off that ear. Okay, now she's got a little fur on top of her head too. Again, very furry, these puppies. So let's just put a little fur up here by drawing a curved line and then a couple little shark fins up on top of her head. Now if you want, you can even add a little collar to Gracie. She's got to have a little princess collar. So let's draw a little curved line right here below her chin to create her collar. Then if you want, you can add a couple little circles or ovals to create the little name tag. Put Gracie's name on there. All right, and to finish off Gracie, let's go ahead and give her pupils. Let's bring her to life. She's got big puppy dog eyes. They're going to be nice big circles in the corners of her eyes here. Nice big circles. And inside those circles, you're going to draw 2 more circles, one bigger one, and then one highlight. And then you can shade in the middle circle. Okay, now when you're finished with your drawing, make sure you sign it, put your name on there. Be proud of your work. This one was a little trickier than some of the other drawings we've done, but I hope you had a lot of fun with it. It's one of our favorites, of course, because we have little Gracie right here visiting us quite often at Wacky World. I know it was a little difficult. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with this. Please remember to like our videos and share in the comments if there's a special character you want to see. I love the pets. We have lots of fun, wacky pets here. We could do a different breed of dog, or maybe even one of our kitty cats, or maybe parrots or fish, or any of those animals that maybe you have at home. Just let us know. We look forward to hearing from you, and thank you again. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Gracie, sneeze.